Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zach's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Bo Sears, who's CEO at Helix Exploration. How are you today, Bo?
I'm well, thank you, Zach.
Right, we're just coming up to a week on the stock market for Helix, and one or two points of interest. I think obviously most people now know about the way that you were oversubscribed. You were looking for, say, 7 million or even less actually, but you got 3 times that amount, which you scaled back people on. And then the other point of interest, I think, is the way that you floated at a market cap, which is, much less than your peers. And it may be worth you just telling us about those two factors.
Sure. Well, first, it takes some time to get some eyeballs on a company that's brand new. With regards to value compared to peers, we are running a marathon here, not a sprint. We have full faith in our ability to execute timely in a timely fashion, and are excited to do so. That's our main and primary goal.
You must be bored with people calling you Mr. Helium, but that is a factor as far as Helix is concerned.
It's an unusual name for sure. It could go both ways, I presume.
And in terms of that, I mean, that's obviously refers to your experience in the industry, which is quite important given the way that the history of helium stocks on the market, etc. What people are looking for is obviously for you to execute on what you say you're going to execute.
That's right. I've been in the space for 24 years now, Zach, and have made mistakes early in my career. And, you just learn from all of your mistakes. And so I'm a seasoned veteran in this space. I know what I'm doing, and, excited to be doing it. I think we really need to make a dent in the supply issue for helium today.
And just describe that supply deficit, which I think that's not too much of an exaggeration.
Yeah, well, over the past 20 years, there have been 4 or 5 massive disruptions in supply, namely because virtually all of the helium produced today comes from the same sources. Really, no new discovery has been made of any meaningful resort. There's been some press about possibilities of reserves, but none have yet been proven. So we really need to find new molecules in order to satisfy the increasing demand.
You said you've been around in this space for nearly a quarter of a century, which might make you feel a bit old. But is it also the case that since you started, the technology that you have in terms of identifying sources of helium have improved, and maybe that increases the chances of your activities in Montana being successful?
I would call it an evolution of knowledge. You take your early knowledge of helium exploration, and then you add years to that with experience and constant movement. So you just learn where to look.
And in terms of, you said you were talking about the timelines and you're sort of doing things in a hurry or as fast as you can. Is this going to be a relatively, given, compared to other projects you've been involved in, do you regard this as being a relatively quick situation that you're working on?
I do. In the background, just have been doing all of the necessary things in order to get this thing moving seamlessly. That's a really important part of any exploration process, is having all of the moving parts ready when you are ready to move.
And you've obviously got the team that you've built up over those years as well, apart from obviously the management at Helix.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of industry contacts, buyers, service providers, and the like. All of these pieces are really important in any exploration endeavor.
And the other point, I suppose, which is quite key to this, once you find the helium, will there be plenty of people to sell it to? And do you know who you might be selling it to?
We have some ideas. It's better to keep an open mind on who your buyer is going to be until you find it. It's important because depending on the volumes, that could dictate who your buyers are going to be.
And would they be, I mean, obviously this is helpful to the listener. which sort of sectors would they chiefly be in, or do you have anyone in mind that might be particularly interested? Is it defense or is it medical, or how does that work?
Well, there's a lot of end users out there that have been on allocation, for instance, in this last shortage, where they are getting perhaps 60% of their allocated volume. In those cases, it's important to go direct to end user because they need helium the most. Without helium, their operations stop, and that is a detriment to their business, the bottom line of their business. So that is certainly an avenue we are chasing. Have a long list of the end user markets, and also independent distributors. But we're not averse to making deals with large major industrial gas companies.
And just in terms of the other important part apart from who's going to buy it, is the price. What's the lay of the land in terms of the price of helium, and what do you expect that to do over the next 6 to 12 months?
The price of helium has really not gone down at all. I mean, there have been some price movements when supply disruptions have kind of fixed themselves, but the real supply issue is not going to change anytime soon. In fact, today, the US BLM, the Federal Helium Reserve, is down and has been down for the last week for presumably scheduled maintenance, but no press release was out there. So that takes a quarter of the domestic supply off the market immediately. And so that's a shock for end users, especially here in the United States. That's helium they don't get.
And just in terms of the latest news, it's probably good to just touch upon that news about your teaming up with a well engineering specialist.
Yeah, we are working with a group who has tremendous expertise in the Rocky Mountain region, which is exactly what we need. Very excited about this group, tremendous knowledge, and have the capability and know-how to do exactly what we need to do.
Well, we look forward to further news flow and developments. In the meantime, Bo Sears, CEO at Helix Exploration, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks so much, Zach. Take care.